Good morning, everyone. My name is Kimberlie Wright. Welcome to another edition of Making Something Out of Nothing, the class all about recycled and upcycled crafts. All right, so we are on our third part of our paper cycle. And since we worked last, we should have already completed, which we already put together, two wheels about no larger than the palm of my hand. And we made our base to go into the center of it, as you can see. So even last week, I said to you all that you can kind of pre-think and think about what colors you might want to use for your cycle, if at all that you want to paint it, because even using the magazine papers, if you use magazine papers, some people might be using newspaper. I'm not sure, but newspaper has a decorative effect to it as well. If you want to keep your cycle just as it is with the magazine or newspaper or whatever you created, feel free. So what I've done was I covered my wheel, because I like the black and the white, with newspaper and taped it, and then I spray painted the inside of my seat, so to speak. So although I decided, I have two family members, like a niece and a cousin, which my cousin is kind of like my niece. They're both graduating, I guess, this school year, which would be next year, 2021. And my niece attends Maynard Jackson High School, which she told me their colors were crimson and gold. So I'm doing her piece, crimson and gold, just for a graduation piece. Although I already had the silver and gold for a long time, and then I have this blue and silver for my little cousin. She attends Westlake High School. And so I just felt like those would be two nice graduation gifts to give them. Maybe they start their own business or going to college. They can use them for pencils or something in their dorm or something like that. All right, so we're going to bring those up.
Ms. Kim? Ms. Kim?
Yes, ma'am.
May I share a little bit? You said make something out of nothing. Well, you know, all those people after Thomas was killed, they sent so many flowers and everything, and all of them had gold leaves in them. So I took those circles I made, and I want to, may I show you what I made?
Please do. Okay, go back a little bit, Miss Jean. All right. Come a little closer, I'm sorry. That's good. Okay, what is that on cardboard?
On cardboard. And I took my circles and I took those gold flowers and put them in, but it's just pretty. I didn't want to throw them away. So.
Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you.
You can hang it, frame it. You can.
I don't know, I could just hang it in memory of him or something.
You can find a frame from the dollar store that's that size and frame it, but take the glass out. Just use the outside frame.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes,
ma'am. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for sharing.
Kim.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a late comer, and I always forget your class on Tuesday. But what is this called that you're making now?
So this is the finished, well, it's not completely finished, but this is the actual, 1 second. We're making a paper cycle.
Oh.
And this one holds this particular basket on the seat.
That's neat. And this is made from.
You gotta put this attach this here, it's gonna make it more sturdy, and the cycle basically is made out of those paper tubes that we made the vessels and stuff with in class before.
Yes.
So as you can see, we have these paper tubes. If you want to get a pencil and paper, Miss Etheria, you're more than welcome to, and I will go through the steps quickly as it pertains to what you're supposed to do. Anybody's interested, I'm going to give you the instructions right now.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So you have to, as far as me, I only made about a full magazine of these. I told people to make about 50 or so, but I made like a
50.
full magazine. And so far, this is all I have left to even finish my second cycle, but I feel like it's enough. So, the first thing you're gonna do is to just write down 2 wheels. 2 wheels. Give me a second to chat. It'll be better like this. So this is our last day for really constructing this piece, and we're going to be doing show and tell next week on the piece. So Miss Etheria or anybody else who's interested, if you feel like you want to even try to make it, you have enough time. Just
Okay, I have plenty of tubes made from when I was in the class before.
no problem. Make 50 paper tubes. I think I made a mistake on my double T's, but it's okay. 2 wheels equal 8 paper tubes a piece. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know how I keep getting these wrong symbols. I didn't mean to put at wheels. I meant to put 2 wheels. So 1 wheel, Miss Etheria, is going to be 8 paper tubes. The other wheel is going to be 8 paper tubes.
8 and 8.
Yes. Sorry. Third wheel, 12 tubes. All right, you got that?
Yes.
All right. So what you're going to do with the 8 is join them all together. You know how you glue them and you make the strip longer by gluing them and join them together like that?
Yes. Oh, I lost your picture. Ah.
Well, I see my picture and everybody else's, I don't see yours.
I know. I was trying to go to the chat. Okay.
All right. So anyway, you take the 8 tubes in some kind of way, if you need to write this down, you know, glue them and attach them.
Okay.
Glue and attach 8 tubes. Some people may not be able to manipulate or handle the 8 tubes, so it's up to you. You see this cup?
Yes.
You know, it's like a regular drinking cup. You can get anything you want to, but the reason why I'm not turning this over because I have water in it. But when you get them 8 tubes put together, you're gonna flatten them out, and then you're gonna start wrapping them around the bottom of the cup. And that's why my tube has a hole in it that's the size of the bottom of this cup.
Okay.
So you're gonna wrap around until you get something that looks like this. You see that?
The black part?
Yes. And so what I did, I told everybody, if you want your wheel to look black, I generally chose the papers that were black.
Right.
And so then you keep wrapping it around. This is right here where I'm touching. This is 8 tubes.
Okay.
This is 8 tubes. Then I made a larger wheel at the top of my cup because the top is slightly larger than the bottom. I wrapped it around the top.
That's with the 8 tubes?
No,
I
this
mean
is
the
the
12,
12.
12? Yes.
This is the 12 right here. This makes
Okay.
a larger wheel than the back set, as you can see on the cycle. Let me move that wheel up there. Oh, you can see it right here. This one is larger than the 2 back ones. All right.
Yes.
So after we did that, I told them depending on the dowel they wanted to use. I used a medium dowel to roll my tubes, and then I took a smaller dowel and I rolled some skinny tubes. You can use the same size dowel, it's up to you. What I did was I traced the inside of the wheel on a piece of paper. And then I took a tube to manipulate it to see if it fit in the inside of here, one long tube. You understand that?
So you,
For the spokes.
yeah, but
Took one long
one,
tube. I'm just telling you, and put it in the center. So then I had 2 open halves.
okay.
So after that, you have to measure six short tubes to put them on the remaining parts. I have one long tube that fits here, and the rest of them are short tubes, like it's 6 of them. So you need 7 in all for the spokes, and you can write that down. 1 long tube and 6 short for the tire spokes. All right, that's 7 in all. Even the smaller ones have 7, Miss Ethereal. The large one is right here, up and down. That's the one that's the one that's all the way together. And then I have 6 short ones, even on the small one. You have to take your time to glue them, and I've been telling everybody you can also use tape to hold it while you're waiting for it to glue. Right here, I told people this is optional. This is only half. Like I cut 1 tube in half, and then I rolled it, you know, like flattened and rolled it and just made like a spiral for a design. I told everybody you could use buttons, you can use rhinestones, you can use nothing right there if you don't want to. It's just a decorative design. One spiral. All right. And so the next thing we did, because right now what we did, I took a piece of cardboard and made a circle with this bottom of this cup. Then I told everybody to measure out the width in between the piece of the tire with a piece of paper, like we did it like this, and I cut it as wide as I wanted. This is only a piece of paper. And what I did was glued coils to it, going lengthwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 6. Are you writing that down?
Yes, I am.
You gotta measure a piece of paper, and you know you can look at this video again. That goes in between. You can maybe that's the step right here is called a seat. So
a what?
A seat. It's the seat of the cycle.
SEAT.
Yes, ma'am. Seat. And it takes 6 coils, 6 paper tubes. 6 paper tubes glued on a rectangle for the seat. All right. So the next thing we did was take 3 3 paper, 3 paper tubes and glue them, no, then and attach them and glue them.
I can't hear you.
It's okay, I'm writing it in the chat, love.
I can't, somehow I can't get to the chat from Kimberly, 3 paper tubes, attach and glue.
After you have the
Okay.
6 paper tubes that are glued on a rectangle for the seat, then you need
Okay.
to attach 3 paper tubes together and glue them. 3. Actually, 2 is fine. 2, sorry, 2. After they are dried, what you're gonna do is bend them like so until it's even. You know, the ends are even. This is what we left off last week. And just like this looks like a chopstick, this isn't straight because I want to take this apart to use it. But what you're gonna do is glue them on the top portion of the wheel like so. It's not gonna go all the way down, just the top half like that. You're gonna put glue in the inside of here and glue that to the top of the wheel like so. You see, that's the 2 cut ends and it's glued over the wheel.
Oh, I have to cut it.
No, you're not cutting anything. I just said to you, you have the closed end right here. You see that?
Okay.
And this is the open end. I'm gluing the open end.
Oh, open
I
end.
still have
Okay.
my closed end right here until I get everything glued. Then I'm going to take 1 tube and flatten it out and wrap it around here like so.
Oh, okay.
It's only going to go up so far. You're going to start at the bottom. You see that little loop or hole right there. You're going to wrap it around. Glue. You're going to have a lot of glue on your hands until you stop. And then you know where that was closed at? You're going to cut that open, and that's going to be your handlebars.
Oh.
See that?
Okay.
All right. Did you write that down? All right. 3 paper tubes, attach them and glue them. Actually,
You said 2.
it should have been 2. That's right.
It was daddy's because we need somebody to pick up all this.
15. All right. So then glue them to the large wheel and then wrap with 1 paper tube. That's as plain as I can do it. You know, it's better to like show you. So the next step is after you cut the handlebars, and now we on to the next step. Everybody is at the same place now, Miss Ethereum. So all right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, everybody. So you want to take 3 tubes. I don't know why mine seems so large right now. But you're going to take 3 tubes right now, and you're going to go ahead and glue them and attach them. I'm going to go ahead and write that in the chat since I wrote everything else in the chat. So before it should have been 2 tubes. I made a mistake, but 3 tubes, attach, and glue. Then you're going to, I'll show you what you're going to do. All right, I want to move this cardboard. Oh, so sorry. With the cardboard, Mr. Theory, I missed a step. The cardboard, you trace the circle for the bottom of that cup. You heard me? You going to
Yes.
use a piece of paper. I have a piece of cardstock. And what I did was just kind of measure sort of like with something. I didn't even have a proper measurement. I just decided that I wanted one particularly like this tall. As you can see that's almost half of the paper, but a little bit more. And then I did another container taller. And you can see the two pieces beside each other. One's a little shorter. And so all I did was, once I cut my paper like so, and I have this portion, you're gonna cut the ends of the paper tubes, and you're gonna glue them to that whole long strip. Then turn it around on the cardboard, right? And glue the edge together.
Yes.
And glue the edge together. And that's how you're gonna get your container. Y'all see Tupac?
Okay.
I just decided to put some type of image on the bottom of this one. I just put newspaper, but it doesn't matter because a portion of it is going to be glued to the seat. Anyway, so did you understand how to make the container? That's the holder.
Yes.
All right. So back to
yes.
the point where we at. I'm getting my glue, and before you actually glue the pieces, you want to make sure they fit, so that you don't, misjudge if it's gonna fit or not. You have to be prepared so that you won't be making a big mess or wasting time. I'm adding glue to that, and I'm attaching.
You're at the point where you're gluing 3 tubes. Okay.
Yes, I'm attaching my 3 tubes. The only thing I forgot to show you, so far I've shown you how to make 2 wheels, 2 small wheels. I showed you how to make a large wheel. I showed you how to make the seat for the particular piece in between the 2 small wheels. And now I just showed you how to make this portion and the handlebars to the large wheel, which now it looks like a unicycle, right? Only thing it needs is this.
Yes.
Yep, the seat. Well, actually, on a unicycle, this would be the seat, because they don't have handlebars. They just pedal. Yeah. So anyway, I was just talking to y'all for a minute so those 3 tubes could dry. What you want to do is go ahead and bend those 3 tubes in half as best as you can. You see, I misjudged it. And it's okay. All I'm going to do is rebend it again. So kind of just go lightly until you get it level. Okay, so that's what I have. I have mine, and it's a little wobbly right here on this step part because it hasn't completely dried. It's okay. What you want to do next is, although I have my cycle right here already gold, I can still paint this part later. So what you're going to do is basically take the chopstick piece around. You see how I'm attaching it here? Mine is about a little bit lower than centered. Just a little bit lower than centered. And in the front, I try to make my piece squared off rather than pointed. That's why I'm sort of smashing it with my finger, so to speak. And what you're gonna do is go about a third down and just make sure it's together. But what you're gonna do is glue. So right here, if you see it, this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So go down about a third down in the inside and add glue. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Adding glue. So the whole time it's ethereal. Usually my projects, we make them together on in the class. So every step that we've done, I know you came in late, we basically started making this together, but anybody who wants to make this or needs to go back on a couple of parts, you can go ahead and make this. So the part up here, as you can see, is moving so much is because I didn't add any glue. All right, you have to add glue to that as well. All up in that joint. That's what I'm doing, adding glue up there. I'm just gonna sit this down for a second, which I usually have a couple of pieces of tape torn so that I'll be ready to tape things that I'm wanting to dry. So I'm putting some tape on the side of the table. Remember I said use tape, rubber bands, clamps, whatever you have. Some people have artistic clamps that hold paper. Some people have clothespins. I don't even know how a rubber band would work, but however, whatever you feel like you can do to make it work, feel free. So now, especially on that part of the wheel where I added glue, I'm gonna take that so that I don't have to continuously hold it and it can have curing time to dry. I take one side, and now I'm going to take the other side while I'm holding it so it can have a tight fit while it's drying. And don't worry about this is like a painter's tape, what I'm using. It could be masking tape, but however, this tape really does not get stuck to glue. Once you pull it off, once the glue dries, it'll come right off. So right here where the third was, where I glued it, glue is in the inside. You can see it's sort of stuck and you can see the glue spreading apart. We're going to flatten a coil. Flatten the coil, I like to flatten it by pressing it. And then sort of rubbing it on the side of the table like so to even get it flatter. If the coil starts, if the paper tube starts to come loose at any part, just glue it back together. All of it is just paper, although it's a very sturdy and unique project. And what you're going to do is that third portion, you're going to wrap that as well. And I'll show you on the other cycle. You're right here at this step, wrapping that part. All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and add glue to half, maybe half is what I can control as far as not getting so much glue everywhere. And this is about the amount of glue that I'm using to make sure it really holds. And I'm going to start to place this piece on top of here while I'm holding these two tubes and starting to wrap in a diagonal type of motion. So as you can see, I'm wrapping slow so as to actually hold the piece as I'm going along. Have to hold it and squeeze it each turn to make sure it's tight. And I just finished the first half of what I had glued. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue the other half. If I had not done that, me personally, I would have glue everywhere. It would be dripping on my clothes, and I had my apron sitting in my lap. So let's get that back. All right, sometimes when I'm doing artwork, I call myself Messy Marvin. All right, so I'm continuing to hold this and control both hands as I'm wrapping.
So you rewrapping what you've already wrapped?
No,
you put in one tube around.
I'm continuing on going down with the other half. I only did the first half that I had glued.
All in 1/3.
Of the
Okay.
1/3, yes. And so that's that full tube right now that I just finished. As you can see, I'm going back to press and to tighten up on one portion. I want to tighten it up a little bit more. So all I have to do is squeeze and kind of go backward, so to speak. And what I'm going to do is kind of rub my hands just because of all this glue. I told you you're going to get a lot of glue on your hands. Once I have my piece, it's wrapped pretty tight to me on both sides. What I'm going to do is put a small piece of tape on it to hold that portion. And even sometimes I put the tape really tight, depends on if you need to hold something. Sometimes I put it kind of light, but the actual last tail, I kind of roll it on there tight, loose, so I can be able to pick it up. So that's what we have. So after that, you're gonna have 2 long open pieces. As it pertains to, this is the part right here where the 2 open pieces are. They connect to the seat, as you can see. But right here, you can see something rolled a little thicker. To stabilize my cycle, what I did is right here, right where the connection ends, I went on ahead and wrapped 1 extra paper tube across there. But however, right now, I'm gonna just go ahead and go to the next step so you can see what you need to do. First, you need to get your seat, and it's going to be attached on the top of the seat. So you want to get your seat and see about how long it looks proper to have the actual connectors. To me, this is like entirely too long. The proportion does not look right. So what I'm going to do is measure about where I want it to be, and maybe, okay, I just did it by eye, and what I'm doing is probably cutting off about another 1/3 of the paper tubes. If you want to leave it a little bit long to actually measure it and put it up to the seat before you cut it too short, then that's what I recommend you do. So what I'm doing is putting those together now, making sure it's straight, by pressing it straight, taking my time and cutting through those. Once again, cut it where it still has length in case you need to shorten some more, because once you cut it too short, you're not going to be able to do it again. And this is the blue and silver, so I just want to sit my red container here to see if everything fits good and how it looks. Let's see. I was gonna say, I think I wanted a little bit shorter, but all I have to do is just glue it on there. So what I'm gonna do is press the portion that I need to glue to the seat. I'll show you that. It's about gonna be as wide, about that length of the seat, the portion that you need to press, as you can see. So press that portion out. And those tubes that you cut, don't throw those away, because you can also recycle those, make something out of nothing with those. All right, so just going ahead to get those. Right here again, the pieces are gonna be really flimsy for now until it really dries. So I'm flattening those out, and I'm gonna add glue to one side, which is the back. Remember, it has to be the back of this because you're gluing it to the top of the seat. So, yes, the seat. So I'm adding that. And what I want to do is I think I'm even gonna have it hanging off just to take it around the back a little, just for stability. And it looks like I'm missing a little bit of glue. So I'm adding glue there. And remember, to save time, I'm gonna go ahead and tape that down so that I don't have to hold it. And it has to be taped really tight. All right, so I taped that side. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Making it even. All right, let me add the glue. All right, my tape came up a little, but I'm going to put it back down. It's because I'm manipulating this side. I'm adding the glue. All right, that's good. And it's not good because I didn't have my tape ready. I'm going to tear 2 pieces from this and go ahead and tape this side. And I have to retape that side. Still making sure it's straight. And I'm sure, meaning straight at an angle, I'm sure it's going to be at an angle somewhat because it's like already a V. So tape that side. And I have to retape the other side. Sorry. I'm retaking that tape off because it's bad now. And I'm also adding some more glue since the other side came up. I just want to make sure it's going to be proper. As soon as I take that down, I'll show you. So anybody got some parts of this cycle that they want to show that they finished? This is how it's looking so far. Take down. So once again, right here, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the coil because that's going to strengthen it. So I'm going to take another paper tube. Pretty much the cycle is done. I have to say one thing. On this particular one that I'm almost finished with, you might not notice it, but these are pieces of tape on the edge. When I painted it, I was trying to cover what I tried to make look like the little handlebars.
That's a card too.
Say that again?
I mean, a paper tube.
Yes.
That's a paper tube.
I actually just took a piece of paper tube, some of my scraps, flattened them out, and wrapped them around the edge of the piece.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do, the reason why I did not paint those silver is because I'm going to paint them the corresponding color of the actual, I'm going to paint it blue, the actual handle, the bar, not the bars, but the handle to the handlebars. And so flatten the tube. Let's see how this one sits up there. Gotta hold it because everything is not dry. It'll sit better once I get everything up there. And take this tube, and what you want to do is I kind of put glue on half of it. It was flattened out. And right in that area, right here, remember where the 2 joints come out, but you still have a piece. You want to wrap a coil. You want to wrap a coil around that piece to make it thicker. Now be creative with your decoration, your designs. Don't forget these particular pieces can hold a flower arrangement, you can hold pencils. It's a holder to hold whatever you deem that it's actually the function is for. So I feel like I want that a little thicker. I'm going to add more glue to a third of the coil and keep just wrapping that around. Coming down on the joint. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the whole thing. Holding it, wrapping it tight. Even sometimes when the glue is on my hand, I slick over it. Just continue to rub that glue all over the paper so it can hold. All right, so I have like a joint there. We're gonna let that dry. And so what also helps to hold this, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the next step. You want to take a coil and don't flatten it, but you are going to flatten maybe about that much of it, about a third. And you're going to wrap it around. Okay, let's just go ahead and do that. So I think I'm going to use this really thick coil. Let's try it out. I'm flattening the top portion. I'm going to use something to just hold this up for now. And I'm going to add glue into the inside so that part can flatten a little bit on the inside, and add in my glue. And now I'm going to add that to the top portion, making sure not to cover up my, what do you call it, tape. This is going to be my bar that comes down to the container. So that's all you want, as you can see. I'm going to show you that closer. I just wrap that around about 2 times, and you leave that bar.
That is so neat.
Thank you, love. And so right now I'm going to take that again so we don't have to hold it. Again, let me show you. I take that, so now I don't have to hold it. All right, so going back to the one that's somewhat finished here, let me just, I can use the table better. Let me push all of this back. All right, let's add here. All right, so let's get a little closer. Right here, you're gonna have your other container. Once, to me, I thought it would be better to go ahead and paint this before I attached everything, so I wouldn't have to be trying to get really like around so much stuff, the other parts. So once you glue this particular container or holder to the seat, then this top bar is going to, as you can see, you see how it's longer because it's on top. You're going to glue it about, let's go ahead and cut that so you can see. What I did was I took the tube and opened it up, sort of like cutting it in half, so that I could measure really well. I don't want to end up cutting it too short. I want to split it so that I can come back on the piece like so. If you can see that, I'll bring it closer.
Okay.
So even though I split it like that, I'm going to make sure, how about if we just go ahead and glue I'm gonna just get that to hold it for now. That's gonna help strengthen it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add glue to the holder. And you know, it's your option if you want to use a hot glue gun or Elmer's glue. Elmer's glue to me would last way longer than hot glue. Although hot glue, sometimes when it cools down, depending on the surface that you use it on, it will just actually just crack right off. But usually that happens on certain plastics and stuff like that. But as far as I know, hot glue will be sufficient to use on paper. Hot glue is gonna soak on paper. So that's, if you want to use hot glue, you're more than welcome. Instead of putting glue all the way on the whole portion of the bottom of this piece, I want to add it to the actual, seat really, because the container is a little wider than the seat. And I don't want to have glue dripping everywhere. So I'm using a sufficient amount, not enough that it's just going to start dripping everywhere. However, looking at the level of my cup to see which is the highest and make sure to put that to the back. And I'm just going to sit my seat there and give that time to let it actually dry. So I don't have to actually attach this particular portion of the bike or the cycle to the container right now. For me, I want to give it time to dry. But once again, you know what you can do. You can take 2 pieces of tape and just make sure to take that down so that if anything is going on, you know, it won't move. I prematurely broke my tape, but however, I'm gonna use this side. So all I'm doing is taking a little piece in the inside here and maybe taping it to the side of lightly taping it to the side of my wheel. That's holding that side, and then I'm gonna get another piece and hold the other side. Looks even, as you can see, sitting on the seat. I don't see no glue dripping out yet. I mean, that must mean I didn't use too much. All right, is that long enough? Yes. Go ahead and just put that over the side of the container and take that to the side of the seat. Okay, so next week, I would like for us to go ahead and be able to show and share our cycles, because after we do a show and share of the cycles, we will be moving on to the next project. Does anybody have any palm creations that they want to show? Palm creations. Anybody want to show pieces? Miss Betty, you want to show me some pieces from your bike that you done created? Let's see. Pull it back a little bit. Are your spokes gold? You know I can't hear you. Just do like, just.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You painted them gold?
Yes.
Okay, that looks good. And I love the way your tire is really black. As you can see, young people, I have some black acrylic and I have white because I was gonna go ahead and add a little bit more black to my tires where I overspray painted with paint. What else you got, Miss Betty? Let me see your, I'm so sorry. Let me see your tire one more time. I want to see your wrap around there. Go back a little bit. I'm trying to look at that piece. And okay, can I see the top part of that? Okay, the only thing is, okay, you see how you made the bike, split it all the way open. No, go all the way. Take your hand from where you holding it. No. Yes, now open it all the way. Keep opening. Let's see. Now pull back a little bit. Okay, what it is, Miss Betty? You either want to, what it is, it looks like, okay, I know what you did. You know, you remember I had said to use 3 right there, and it's supposed to only been 2. So what you got to do is cut a lot of that off because your handlebars are too high.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to cut that all the way down. It should only be, I mean, even if I measured mine, everybody's pretty much, because our wheels are all the same, the proportions of this piece are particularly, everybody should be kind of like the same as soon as I get my ruler. All right, I'll just tell you how tall mine is. It is from the bottom of the tire. Let me click this back. You can put it down right now, Miss Betty. I just want to show y'all. All right. Coming a little closer. The top of my piece is glued from right here, like the top portion half of the tire. So from there, I'm just measuring. It should be about 6.5 to 7 centimeters. Once you measure that out, Miss Betty, then you can, oh, sorry. Let me go to the other one because I forgot the portion of the handlebar that's sticking up. It's going to be, don't see, it's not 7 centimeters. All right. It's about 11 and a half. 11 and a half. And then cut the piece right there at the top and then open it up.
Oh, okay.
But make sure you measure down from the bottom where you first glued the piece.
From here.
No, you didn't glue yours right there. Let's see. Put your hand right there again. Okay. You see, you know
Right here.
what I want you to do. You see where your loop is. Put your finger where that purple loop is.
Right here.
I really want you to cut that off again.
Okay.
You know why? I'm gonna show you. It's because, let me go to my spotlight. I'm gonna show you why. If you can understand what I'm saying. Right here, your loop is just going over the tire portion right there. It's supposed to be glued. If it was right here, it's one part that's glued to this side and one part that's glued to that side. So actually, if you can see you see my inside where my loop is. Hold on. It's
yeah.
You see what it's like glued to the top. You see I'm touching it, Miss Betty. Of one of my spokes. It's glued to one of my spokes.
Okay.
So I took it over,
Right.
yes, instead of stopping it over the tire, I glued it all the way down to the top of the spoke. You see I'm squeezing it together like this.
Okay.
It's on the top of the spoke, so I want you to cut that off and glue it to the top of the spoke.
Okay.
You answered my question.
I did.
Yeah.
Right here. And Miss Betty had hers stop right there. But you want to glue it to the top of the spoke on both sides.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, you got another piece to show anybody? Anybody need any more instructions?
Okay, that's my seat, but I gotta attach it.
No problem. Let me see. Hold on. 1 second. Well, let me see your paper part of your seat.
The cardboard part.
Turn it over where I can see the tubes.
But I gotta add another one because I had 5 and you said 6.
Yeah, where my other seat at? It needs to go all the way across, like, hold on. You see how it goes all the way across? But you can trim around it when you finish and cut the edges. But you know, I have 6. If you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Period. One other thing that we did was, as you can see right in this portion, once we put the seat onto the wheels, I put a bar right there, just in the crease, just for stability. And it's a bar on the bottom too. So really it's like 2 bars right there for stability. And the only way I was able to even do all of that was because I taped it. So once again, on this side, you see a bar for stability, and on the bottom, so it has 4. It has 4 if you want to write that down. Or you can also go back and look at it. So next week we'll be showing our, we're going to be showing our cycles all decorated, and think of some of the things if you want to research what cycles look like. The reason why I just called it a simple paper cycle is because I didn't necessarily want to call it a tricycle. I think usually a tricycle doesn't mean like the big wheel what the kids ride on, but however, a tricycle just means that it's some type of piece of transportation that has 3 wheels, 3 wheels. So it could be a tricycle, but I just call it a paper cycle. And also be creative with what you can use on these tires. You can use some of those glass stones, buttons, rhinestones, that type of thing. I think about the parts of a bicycle. Like I thought about a light that you could put on it, a horn. You know, I don't know, any type of decoration would be cute. If you want to sit a little bird or something on some people might put a little basket up there on the handlebars. I'm not sure. But just be creative with that. And I just wanted to show you all something really quick. So I have a a class on Wednesdays called Word Up at 10:30. It's all about poetry, spoken word, and short stories. And I always say to young people, don't forget to compile your works and put finished works and pieces. So that's the same thing that goes for your artwork. If you want to buy certain portfolios or even make your own, you know, you can make your own book. This is some of the pieces that we had already done with our poem. Y'all see I've compiled some of these pieces and put them in the book. This is our poem art that we've been doing the last couple of weeks. So Miss Etheria, these are actual poem prints that we created. I told everybody to do their own designs, but as you can see, this is my hand right here.
Oh.
This is.
I'm glad you showed me.
This is yeah. I might not have it turned right. And then like, this is half of this
both hands
and half of the other hand, peacock. Everything is a palm. This parrot was like this. As you can see, the bottom of the mouth looks like my thumb.
Okay.
Everybody was drawing these at the same time. We drew them together, but I told everybody to color them and do their own backgrounds in their own time. This is like this. And then the frog
That's a
is like,
giraffe.
giraffe. The frog is like a double thing like that. We did upside down, and then we did forward like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
never would have thought.
I also have a few more here, but if anybody has those to show at any time, the reason why I compiled these in the book is because I'm finished with them. Feel free to be able to share those next week and show your paper cycles. If you need any more time to write down what I wrote in the chat, feel free, although the container is omitted and I do not have those bars on the wheels. However, whatever you feel like you can see fit to kind of do a little different to make the cycle work, feel free and show me your ideas next week. Are there any questions? Anyone? Thank you, Miss Jean. And thank you so much, Miss Jean, for sharing the piece that you made from some really cherished, I guess, pieces that you received from a service. And it seems like I see Mr. Bailey. And
It's 11 o'clock already.
y'all don't have any questions? Thank you so much. And please join someone else's class. Thanks for joining me today, Kimberlie Wright, with Making Something Out of Nothing. Please keep all those beautiful ideas and objects so we can make something. I'll see you next class. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Thanks for joining, everybody.